me. So let's get straight to it. So first and foremost, I appreciate y'all for joining. This is gonna be pretty quick. There are some actually really big things going on, but we'll most people are wave riders, man. So when it comes to stocks and money going, they'll see that other people get into it and they'll react based off that. So what I'm trying to do is instill that information so you guys have the ability to take that information before it actually pops off. So with that being said, today they're doing their earnings calls. The earnings calls once again are when the companies do their quarterly calls to let people know how they did the quarter before in terms of revenue, in terms of sales, in terms of subscribers, just everything to let investors know if this is a company that's worth keeping long term. So some of the top ones that you guys should really look into, and a lot of times if you invest in these stocks before the earnings calls, the stocks normally end up going up or they go down. Once again, it's just about how they did the quarter before. But Alibaba, Sony, Fidelity, BP, the gas company, Activision, the video game company, Marriott, Microchip Technology, Prudential Financial, um, Under Armour. There's a ton of different companies. I would say go to NASDAQ.com if you want to get that information. But that information is readily available. And once again, these are some of the things that people look into in terms of investing when we're on a flat, you know, situation like we are currently right now. And to be honest with you, that's why the live stream followers are lower than what they were, say for instance, like 6 months ago. Like the reason why it was up 6 months ago is because everybody was wave riding and they was trying to figure out what's going on. See, when shit flat, people get bored by flat. But these are the times that you actually invest. And right now is probably a really good time, especially due to the fact that this Delta variant has spread like a motherfucker. It seems like in the last 7 days since Friday. So since Friday, the 7 day average of daily coronaviruses has reached 72,000, which that was higher than the peak seen last summer when we didn't have a vaccine. So what does this mean? It means that shit's gonna start closing down. Obviously, people aren't really taking vaccines, and vaccines show that they're not going to cure coronaviruses. It's really just going to make sure that if you catch it, that it doesn't fuck you up to the point of death, basically. So it's just to help you handle it better, but it's not meant to keep you from catching it or spreading it. So, realistically, it looks like we might have some closings again. So you guys, that's one of the reasons why the market is flat today, is simply just due to the fact of those numbers that I just went over. If you think about that, then you know that we're leading to something that could lead to closings. Just yesterday or a couple of days ago, Biden made it official that everybody who works for the government has to get vaxxed. And then they just said in New York that they're going to start enforcing certain areas getting vaccinated. For the people in New York, man, this nigga Governor Cuomo is a nasty nigga, man. He out here doing the most. But that's neither here nor there. But so a lot of these states are putting into these things. Obviously the CDC made it clear that they don't want anybody going into areas without masks. Again, I don't. But obviously it's going to be up to the state to enforce these things. CDC can really just give the recommendations. But once again, because of that, things are going to be flat. But they're also going to go down, which is a good thing because it's an investment opportunity. The stocks that you're going to probably see really be affected the most by this COVID vaccine is the same ones that got hit the worst when it hit last year. History has a way of repeating itself. So airline flights, cruise flights, hospitality, situations like MGM Graham, hotels like Marriott, but really the flights and the cruises. Last year, man, I made probably more money outside of GameStop, but the GameStop was this year. But last year, I probably made more money off investments from flights than anything else. And stocks like United Airlines, for instance. Like I originally bought that last year when it dropped all the way down to like 17 bucks, sold it at like $46 because there was other opportunities. But that stock 2 years ago was at 96 bucks. So, if it happens to go down $5 to $10 now, if you invest into it at that point in time, that's an easy double up. Once we get through this whole COVID situation. It's not going to be a tomorrow double up, but it's going to potentially double up pretty soon. So, and then in terms of what could possibly go up with this, realistically, it's going to be a lot of the pharmaceutical stocks, really a lot of the vaccine stocks. If you follow my Patreon page, then I have the details of the top rewarding vaccine stock that we could be looking into towards the future. So once again, if you are part of the Patreon game, make sure you guys check that out. I dropped that shit yesterday. But yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of the crypto side of things. Like I said before, Bitcoin has gone up, even though it's down today and yesterday. Realistically, it's still up almost 10,000 over the last couple of weeks. So, I heard a lot of people saying Bitcoin crash, but it's steadily going up. Just so we're clear, there was only two reasons why it went down to begin with: China shutting it down and the use of energy. And actually, to get specific, the use of energy, just to kind of put this in a nutshell for people who don't understand. Normally, Bitcoin mining requires the same amount of energy that it takes to light up this country of Colombia. Like if we're talking about nationwide Bitcoin mining. Now, I want to say maybe like 3 or 4 months ago, which ironically was the same time where the market crashed, the energy was being overused double. So it was overworking itself to the point to where we was getting underperformance because of the overwork. Once again, it was about double about 4 months ago, which, like I said, was ironically the exact same time where shit got damn near cut in half. And because of that, there was countries all across the world, like Iran, China, different countries. I was having power outages, and that is one of the reasons why China put the ban on Bitcoin. One of the reasons, not the only reason. But I only say that to say, um, you know, and Nasdaq had a really really good article last week talking about how Bitcoin is getting more into energy renewable sources to actually do mining. Now, is it going to always be like that? No, but these are the things that are needed to get things back on track. So, if you are looking to get into Bitcoin, really Ethereum is really the one if we keeping it a bean. But if you are looking to get into these things, like, need to get into this shit now, because this is really the opportunity. Y'all gonna blink, it's gonna go back up, and then it's gonna be 40, 50 people in here like it was 6, 7 months ago trying to figure out how to catch up. Do it now. But that's pretty much it. So in terms of everything else, like I said, the market is flat because, quite honestly, Delta, the highest 7-day average of coronavirus cases since last summer, point blank period. People don't want to invest because they don't know how this shit is going to go. Things could go down, but things could go up. And that's one of the reasons why you pay attention to the earnings reports, because some of those companies are going to be the ones that actually go up. And once again, you can get that information on NASDAQ.com. It's a lot. It's about 8 pages worth of companies, but it's a lot of big time companies that you guys might. Some of these companies might be companies you guys are actually invested into. So that's pretty much it, y'all. I'm out of here. Once again, I will have my content in terms of actual stocks to buy for my Patreon guys tomorrow. Once again, shout out to the people who do follow the live. Once again, this is really just for y'all, free content. At the end of the day, the shit that I really care about is a Patreon page. So make sure you guys tap into that, because we're giving stock tips that are actually benefiting people right now. But until then, next live stream will be Thursday. Y'all have a good rest of the day.